What is up, guys? Thanks a lot for checking out another episode today. What we're going to be showing you and doing today is actually going to be showing you the new Project Honda Civic. All right, so here's the new 2006 Honda Civic. I believe this is the DX. I could be wrong. I believe it is the base model. I could have it the other way around. Either DX is the base model or EX is the base model. I can't recall. But anyhow, so this is the car. It's an automatic coupe with a blown motor. It does actually still run. However, the block has suffered a crack, which related to the car overheating ridiculously enough to where it melted the dipstick. No, I'm not incorrect on that. It is 100% melted. Let me pop the hood and show you. So like I said, these motors in these cars are notorious for crack blocks. This one ended up having no coolant left in it, overheated so bad, it melted the dipstick. Like, that should be at least another foot or so on that dipstick. That's crazy. Like, it full on melted it. And these things are high temp plastic too, to withstand the heat. I just can't believe it actually melted it. So like I said, this one still runs, however, not for long. We have to get the motor out of here, but in order to do that, we need to do a quick clean on the car. We're actually in the middle right now of doing an interior vacuum, just a quick one, nothing too serious. Eventually though, these seats will be coming out, and then we're going to be taking the carpet kit out also. You know, it is dirty. I want to actually pressure wash it. I do this to all my used cars. I just make sure that it is just clean 100%. Nobody else's disgusting filth or anything. We're going to use our tornado machine that I ended up getting to get all the nooks and crannies on the door panel. Nice detailing brushes too, to get around the switches and the cracks, what have you. Same goes for the dash in the vents and everything. We're gonna clean it. So this side I pretty much already vacuumed. There is a lot of dog hair and a lot of pine needles in this car. So let's get going to the other side here. Another thing actually too, we are going to do a full exterior polish on this car. I ended up getting new polish pads. First we have to obviously clay bar it because there's a lot of sap all over the paint on the roof and all that. Quick mention actually about the roof and the hood and everything. These cars are notorious, aside from the cracked blocks, is the paint loves to fade, the clear coat loves to fade, and you get this nasty crow's feet checker pattern all over the roof, all over the hood and trunk lid, because that has the most sun exposure. Thankfully though, this paint is actually not too terrible. It's gonna need a good cleanup, but like I said, we're actually gonna do a full exterior polish on this thing. You know, the car's not mint shape. It's got its typical, you know, dings here and there. I'm gonna actually sand that down, and then I'm gonna do some touch-up paint and fill that all in. That's gonna look good. You know, other little dings here and there, but yeah, this car will look better in the future. Just bear with us here. So like I said, this is just disgusting, just crap everywhere, full of dog hair. It's disgusting. So like I said, I also want to pressure wash the seats, everything too. As with the carpet kit, just make the car fresh and not so nasty and dingy. So I'm going to keep on going here and finish vacuuming up this. I highly doubt you guys want to see me do that, so I'm going to rendezvous with you guys when I'm done that. Okay, so now we got all the interior pretty much cleaned up. Like I said, we're going to do a lot more in-depth of a cleanup on the interior there. But now we're going to get to the exterior wash. I ended up taking off each side roof molding, just because they usually have a lot of pine needles and crap stuck in here. Looks like this was used on a farm or something. There's a lot of hay inside it. And then also it exposes the edge of the windshield, where there usually is a lot of crap and different debris in there on both sides. So that way I can just chase it all out with the pressure washer and that'll be good. You know, they're relatively easy to take off. All that you do is you just rock the molding off to the side to undo the clip that's on the edge of the actual glass. Then there's each clip up on the windshield pillar. There's a spot where you put your hook tool in to release the tab, which the clip releases up the molding. And you do that all the way. And then these guys on the roof, all that you do is you rock it back to undo the backing part of the clip, and then you rock it forward to release it from here off the actual molding. You do that 3 times, and then there's a tiny little keyway tab here that you slide the whole thing forward and it pops off. You do that each side, and then now you're able to pressure wash in there. But yeah, it's gonna be a good first start, that's for sure. All right, so after a really good pre-rinse with a pressure washer, getting really close to the nook and crannies and all the cracks, we're now letting it do a good pre-soak with the foam cannon. As you can see, it's been soaking actually for a little bit already. But yeah, we're gonna keep on letting it just soak, and then we're gonna go over it with the microfiber wash mitt, and then get everything agitated, re-rinse it all off, and then we can clean up the garage, because the garage is an absolute pigsty since the Skyline left. There's the motorcycle project there, kids' bikes, all that stuff. So I'm gonna have to reorganize the garage, get the sucker rolled into the garage, get the go jacks underneath it to lift the car up in the air to start prepping for the engine replacement. All right, so the car has had its deep pre-soak, deep wash, and now it's deep second rinse off. So we need to do something really quick before we actually roll this thing into the garage. Is this needs to go, because this needs to go up there. Get this interior smelling a little bit better. All right, that is much better, and it smells so much better in here already. All right, let's go clean up the garage and get the sucker rolled in. Making progress on cleaning up the garage. We are almost there. I gotta figure what the heck to do with the motorcycle project. I'm actually planning on painting that tomorrow, so hopefully that goes according to plan. But in the meantime, I'm gonna keep on cleaning up. All right, quickly switching to the wide angle mode here, just a little tight in the garage, and up we go with the Civic here and the Go Jacks. Love it. I've been able to do a lot of awesome work with this kind of a tool, so I'm really glad I have the opportunity to have it. So now it looks like everything is good. I'm going to flip up these locks for when I lower it down, that it locks correctly and it doesn't start actually lowering the car down unexpectedly. So we should be good. Go over to the controller and watch carefully while it lowers down, making sure it locks both arms in place, which it has. So now we're good. And there you have it. The Civic is on the Go Jack, secure and safe, ready for me to bring the cherry picker from Limitless Garage, back from the shop there, back to my house where it belongs, but I have it at Limitless for all the projects. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring that tool back and then get the engine removed, all that, and then get the used engine put in. I still have to get the used engine, however, but in this way, we'll at least have everything prepared, ready for the engine to come. I'm probably gonna leave these roof and windshield moldings off the car. Just that way, when I go to do the full polish, I won't have to necessarily tape off this area. I will have to be careful of the clips, but it will give me a little bit more room to work freely with the polisher. Of course, we're going to tape up the windows and all the other trims, but that's just one less thing that I have to tape up, which does help. I'm going to also get some ultrafine steel wool. I already went over all the windows with soapy water, Windex, and a razor blade just to clear a lot of the gunk off. But I'm definitely going to go over it again with ultrafine steel wool. That way I know that the glass is 100% clean, free of contaminants. But yeah, this is going to be one heck of a project car, because I'll be able to hone in on my skills on polishing, be a little bit more proficient in that. And if I do accidentally mess up on this car, it's okay, because it's not the end of the world. It's not like a very expensive car that I have a loan on or anything. Unlike the CX-9, I'd be devastated if I screwed up polishing that. But this car, not so much. It's okay. A little bit of touch-up paint there for where I perhaps burnt through, but I'm pretty good at it. I'm not professional or the best by any means, but I do know where the limitations are. But like I said, this will give me a chance to hone in on my polishing skills. So in order to get the motor removed and reinstalled with a new used one. I'm going to take off the hood. This wiper cowl I'm definitely going to take off because it actually protrudes quite far, pretty much over the engine. And then there will be another tray that I can actually remove to expose even more room further deep in. Of course, all the other stuff and everything's going to come off. Take the little cooling panel up here. I believe there might be a bolt-on rad support that I'll be able to take off. Just it'll allow me a little bit more slip room. But this motor isn't really terribly hard to remove. It isn't the biggest thing in the world either. But yeah, it'll be all right. Okay, guys. So now we're on our way to pick up a new car part for a future project. Undisclosed at the moment. You're just gonna have to wait and see to what the part is. Okay guys, so it's a lot later. Fast forward, we're home now in the garage and we got that special part. You ready to see it? Here we go. It is a GTR R35 genuine OEM front bumper cover. I ended up picking this up for pretty cheap. So I just had to have it. Plus, a little bit of an announcement also that I am actively searching for a salvaged R35 GTR to rebuild here in this very garage as the next major project, major build on the channel. If anybody has any leads on any salvaged R35 GTRs in Canada, perhaps the States too, but preferably in Canada. I know the only real salvage auction out this way is Copart. There's one in, because I'm in British Columbia, there's actually two in Alberta, one in Edmonton and one in Calgary. So I'm actively looking on Copart's website. Copart, if you want to work together, please let me know, because we can do a lot of beautiful, beautiful things together. And like I said, a salvage titled R35 GTR is what I'm actively searching for right now. But that is the next plan. I'm going to slowly get some parts of R35 GTR parts. That way it keeps my motivation going. And also, why not, right? Already have the parts. If I actually end up obtaining a car, I'll have some of the parts that I may require. But yeah, so having this GTR bumper here, I'm gonna eventually mount it on the wall somewhere over here maybe, but this is gonna be some motivation. I'm gonna come in the garage when I work on the Project Civic and I'm gonna see this bumper. I'm like, gotta get reminded of the goal, gotta chase after the dream. We're gonna make it happen, guys. As soon as it does happen, I'm totally bringing you guys along on the journey. But keep in mind, guys, follow me on my Instagram page because that's where you get to see sneak peeks like this first before it actually does launch up on YouTube. So link is in the description on that. Hopefully, I'll find something at Copart. I would love to work with Copart. I've seen a bunch of other YouTubers work with them and pretty envious, to be honest. I know, sometimes it portrays it a little bit different than reality, but I want to do this. This is something that I'm passionate about, and I want to try everything I can to make this happen. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for checking this one out. There was a couple pretty big announcements there. Like I said, one of the Project Honda Civic behind me here, and then also the R35 GTR front bumper. Hopes of to find a salvage titled R35 GTR, so that way I can rebuild it. Used ones, decent condition used ones, they're going for about, I think like 50,000 right now, Canadian. So if I can find a salvage one for significantly less, rebuild it, whatever I gotta do, then that's gonna be a huge win for us. But thanks a lot, guys, for checking out this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of good things to come. Alrighty, guys, have a good one.